What's up, guys? Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. We got some news and rumors to dive into here, and I want to kick things off with the latest on Kyler Gordon. He left Sunday's game with a hand injury, did not return, and Matt Eberflus today, in Flus fashion, said that we won't get an official update until Wednesday. But he did say that Gordon is meeting with doctors today, and when you hear that and when you hear, we'll tell you guys on Wednesday, that doesn't inspire a lot of hope in this situation, and this would be a major loss. Like, make no mistake, I think Kyler Gordon was primed for a breakout year. Now, if it's a hand injury, it's not going to be a season-ending deal. There could be a scenario where he puts, like, a club on it. You know, we've seen that in the past with players, but this would be a bummer because, A, I thought he played pretty well when he was out there. The overall grade was kind of average per PFF's grading system, but he had a nice breakup on a play where he got his fist in there on a kind of a 7 or 8 yard out route to Jaden Reed where he's able to punch one out. I thought he was flying around. He looked good in the preseason also, and he just looked more confident. I think last year it took him a while to get that confidence, but he found it as the season went on, and now this could be a setback if he's going to miss some time here. Again, we don't know the severity, but meeting with doctors, that probably means he's got to see a hand specialist. There's probably some kind of broken bone in there, if I had to guess. Now, that's speculation, but it was heavily wrapped after the game. The fact that they ruled him out, like, instantly tells me something was bad, right? Like, if it's like like even a sprain, you might be able to go back out there, just heavily wrap it, but they ruled him out quickly. So Josh Blackwell was the next man up as the backup nickel. I thought he played okay, but you want to see these young players develop, and if Kyler Gordon's going to miss some time, that is definitely a bummer. As soon as we have an official update on Kyler Gordon, we'll obviously talk about it here on the show, but I'll be tweeting about it, and I've been tweeting a lot of Chicago Bears news updates. I tweeted out every notable PFF grade from week one, if you're into that as well when it comes to the Bears. If you want daily Chicago Bears coverage, not only on the channel, but on Twitter with dozens of tweets per day, give me a follow, at HGramNFL. Appreciate all the support. I'm tweeting about the Bears all day long. Okay, let's talk offensive line. Got to revisit it. Should you sign Dalton Risner? I mean, the entire interior offensive line struggled. It just did. On further review with the clips I've seen, PFF, which again, PFF, and I don't take what they say verbatim, but I would say this lines up pretty well with what we saw. Cody Whitehair, overall grade, 47.2, pass block, 52.8, run block, 44.1. He struggled at left guard last year. He struggled at left guard yesterday. I think that's why they moved him to center, because I think he's a borderline cooked product. So is Lucas Patrick, 43 overall grade, 50 pass block, 45 run block. Yeah, he missed pretty much all of camp. Well, let's move him to center and Cody Whitehair to left guard. I think that's a very questionable decision at this point. And then Nate Davis, 48.6 overall, 26.8 pass block. I saw someone else tweeted this out. He gave up 9 pressures in this one and a run block grade of okay, serviceable, 58.1. The bottom line is you can't be weak at all 3 spots in the middle. Like, very few teams are stellar at all 5 spots on the offensive line. You can't be well below average at 3, though. Like, the fact that the young tackles outplayed the interior is kind of embarrassing. It really is. I mean, that performance is just not going to cut it from Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick, and Nate Davis. It's just not going to. Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones held their own. Now, Braxton had 2 holding penalties. PFF graded him higher than I think he actually played, but he was definitely better than the interior guys. Darnell Wright, it doesn't help when you're playing next to the worst lineman on the team in week 1. Nate Davis was your worst lineman in week 1. You paid him $30 million. We're going to talk about him a little bit more in just a second. All right, guys, excited to tell you about our brand new sponsor here on Bears Now. That is Factor. Looking for healthy and easy meals to eat? That is where Factor comes in, because we don't have time to cook during football season, at least not as much as we like. That's where Factor comes into play. It's America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit that can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Adjust your stride this autumn without missing a step. You can choose from 34-plus weekly flavor-packed, fresh, never-frozen meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. Producer Rolly and I got a lot of different meals from Factor delivered to us, and I got to tell you, they're delicious, they're healthy, and they're caloric friendly as well. All these meals, 550 calories or less. Maybe you're looking to lose some weight. And just me personally, I'll be honest, I've got a newborn at home. My wife is with him all day on Sundays. She loves to cook, but she doesn't have as much time to cook anymore. She's been loving these Factor meals as well, and I think you will too. Give them a try today. factormeals.com/BearsChat50. That's going to get you 50% off at checkout. And just a little personal touch here, the loaded bacon shredded chicken, that is a personal favorite of myself and producer Rolly's. It is delicious. One more time, head to factormeals.com/BearsChat50 and use code BearsChat50 to get 50% off at checkout. That's code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50 to get. I got to be honest, guys. I think the Bears have a big Nate Davis problem, and I kind of towed that line in training camp and leading up to week 1. I didn't like that he wasn't practicing. Like, I can't speak to whatever personal stuff's been going on. So, I don't want to go too far. But, when you don't practice, when you're unavailable, whether it's injury, personal, whatever, you become unreliable. And, some of you guys, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I think deep down I kind of hope for it too. It's if he comes out there Sunday and plays well, then all is good. Well, he didn't play well. Had he played well, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, maybe he's a guy who doesn't have to practice much. There are those athletes out there, but I've been concerned for weeks about this situation, but I wanted to give it week 1. I don't want to say one game is everything, but does it seem like a good situation to you? He got whipped. He got pushed around. He's probably not in top-tier football shape since he hasn't practiced. And guess what? Bears gave him a 3-year, $30 million deal with $19 million guaranteed, and yeah, they can cut him next year with the post-Q1 designation. It only saves a couple $1 million. They're pretty much on the books this year and next, so they really need to hope he figures that out. But they may not be able to afford to wait. If he is a reliability all year, you got to consider other options. And Dalton Risner's still out there. I mean, his grades weren't great last year, but this was better than what Nate Davis showed. I mean, seriously, you got to do something. And by the way, even if it's not to replace Nate Davis, how about Cody Whitehair? Cody Whitehair, guys, he's a leader. I love him. He's been a Bear his entire career, but I just don't know if he has it anymore. We kind of saw this last year with Cody. He was a team captain last year, so there's that symbolic stuff, but it's you can either play or you can't. And I'm not sure Whitehair's that guy anymore, and I think that's why they moved him to center. I think they thought him being at center could negate some of those shortcomings as a blocker, but I don't know. It's only one game for all this stuff, but in Whitehair's case, he struggled last year, guys. Something's got to change on the interior and fast, because Packers got a good D-line. Not the best they're going to face this year, though. It's not. So we'll see how this week in Tampa goes, certainly. But Dalton Risner's lurking, and what do you guys think? Would you sign Dalton Risner? Type S for sign, or you can type P for pass. Maybe the better answer is just give Tyrique Carter a shot if this continues. Dan Feeney, who you traded for, give him an opportunity. Interesting to see where the offensive line goes from here. Tevin Jenkins eligible to return in week 5. Okay, let's talk about the quarterback. Fields concerns. I think there's some. I think there's reason to have some concern here. Look, he's hesitated to throw the ball a few times. Will that improve? That's what we've wanted to know. Better weapons. Ideally, a better offensive line, although that didn't come to fruition, really. Tackles played fine. Interior guys, not so much. But this year's all about, can Fields take that step as a passer? Now, let me get a disclaimer out of the way. Luke Getsy's game plan was dog shit. It was horrific. The interior offensive line was bad. So, look, coming into this year, I did not want to create excuses for Fields. I don't think I am, though. You saw it. They gave up a ton of pressure, and Getsy's game plan was not good. But Fields has to take more of the blame this year. You still have added weapons. You're still in year 3 in the NFL. At some point, you have to elevate if you're a great one, regardless of what's around you, more than you have as a passer up to this point. Here's a good example. ESPN's, and I'm totally blanking on his name now, Matt Bowen. He does a lot of film study stuff. He did a couple of play breakdowns. Go check him out on Twitter. This is a great example. Mesh concept. Darnell Mooney's open right now on the top right of your screen. And by the way, that linebacker, just to Mooney's right, he's drifting with that other underneath route to the right sideline. Fields needs to throw that right now on Mooney's front hip. And by the way, if he doesn't want to throw that further out, throw it on Cole Kmet's left hip. That's open in the NFL. He's looking straight up the middle. Like, he can see that. But he just doesn't trust it, and then he takes a sack. Like, that's the type of stuff, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, did I like Getsy's game plan? No. Was I tired of the horizontal passing? Yes. But there's still opportunities here when you watch this. And I get it. There's opportunities missed in every game and on a lot of plays for even the great ones. But, like, we got to see him pull the trigger more. Like, I would rather Justin Fields throw 3-4 picks a week, but he's firing the ball downfield, right? Don't stop with this conservative game plan and handicapping your quarterback. And with Justin, I don't even want to say take some chances because that's not taking a chance. Mooney's open. Like, if you miss the throw, you miss the throw, but he's open, man. The NFL, it's not college where guys are wide open. Like, he's got to be willing to pull the trigger in those situations. Now, Matt Eberflus today, when asked about Fields, says he knows he can play better. He was asked on radio, who's to blame for the offense, Getsy or Fields? And he said it's a combination. We need to take more shots downfield. And my response is like, yeah, no shit. I mean, throw the ball downfield. Justin Fields is a good downfield thrower. The one real true downfield throw he made was a touchdown to Darnell Mooney, and that's where I want to make the point as well. It wasn't all bad for Fields. No tape is flawless. That's why I don't want to obsess over one play or something like that. But I was just outlining that, like, yes, the quarterback has to take some ownership too. There's opportunities to throw the football and not take that sack there. I thought he got into a nice rhythm in the first half, made a nice slot fade check, by the way, at the line of scrimmage, and threw the touchdown to Darnell Mooney. It wasn't all bad. It's got to be more consistent, though, and that's the bottom line. We got 16 more games to evaluate this. And if it's not convincing to Ryan Poles, he's probably going to draft a quarterback because it's a damn good QB class. And that's the tricky part about this is, like, even if Fields makes some progress, but you have a couple of high picks in this draft with yourself in Carolina, you're still going to heavily consider it if you're Ryan Poles because you might say, okay, I like where Fields is going, but I might like this guy better already, right? Ryan Poles didn't draft Justin Fields. He's given him this year. 16 more games. Let's see how it goes. If it doesn't go to the direction Poles likes it, he will not hesitate to draft a quarterback, in my opinion. So I ask you this question. Will Justin Fields be the Bears starting quarterback in 2024, at least in week 1? Will he be the starter? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I would still say yes right now, but I can't say it with 100% certainty. This team goes 5-12 and he makes just marginal improvements. It's probably not going to be enough. Like, they're probably going to make a change. Good news is you're one game in. You got 16 more. A lot of football left, and that starts this week in Tampa Bay. Let me know what you guys think, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Bears videos.